Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, so this is going to be my very first launch on my YouTube channel. So you guys bear with me. I am recording this live on my phone and I'm uploading because I think that's what I have to do. And it told me I had to wait 24 hours after I verified my account to do a live video on YouTube. So first things first, my name is Amber Willoughby. I am the director of Feet to Faith with Scentsy. I am out of Wilmington, North Carolina, and I wanted to hop on here. I'm sorry, my hair's drying. I wanted to hop on here today just for about 20 minutes, and I wanted to talk about a really important topic with Scentsy, and that is expanding your customer base. So for those of you who do not know me, I have been, and I'm sorry again, guys, I'm going to mess with my hair a lot. I have been a Scentsy consultant. April was 3 years. So April 2016 is when I joined. I joined underneath Chloe Cox, who's a superstar director of Anchored Scents. And I was a customer of hers for 2.5 years before I even decided to join. And to preface that a little bit, she asked me to join for so long. She asked me to have parties for so long, and I always said no. And I pressed join when I was ready. I didn't even tell her that I was pressing join, and I pressed join, and then I texted her and I said, hey, I just went on your website and I joined. So there's that. With that being said, make sure that you're planting seeds, you're keeping up with who you contact, and you don't give up and don't let a no scare you, because it took me 2.5 years, so there's going to be a lot of people that it takes a long time, but I promise you they're still watching. Okay, so I wanted to talk about expanding your customer base. So especially when you've been a consultant for almost 3.5 years, you know that you have, or if you've been a consultant for a while, you start to recruit your customers. Your best customers are going to be if they're amazing customers and they're already loving the products, they're spending a lot of money with you, why not get paid to do what they love buying anyways? So if you're like me, you tend to recruit a lot of those customers. And then you're like, oh gosh, I need to make sure that I am building up my customer base to keep that PRV up like we know that we need it to be. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I do personally to expand my customer base. So I, first of all, am an avid home party person. I love home parties. I love being in person with people. I love putting the scents underneath people's noses. I love the whole nine with that. So that's an easy way that you have a host and you have all of their friends or family, co-workers that they have invited to their home party. And that right there is a way for you to expand your customer base. You have the opportunity then to use the order forms or whatever you do to collect the orders, if you do it right on your workstation, to get their information. Make sure you're getting their name, their phone number, their address, and their email address. Why is that important? Because as soon as you're now their consultant, their Scentsy consultant, you need to make sure that you have that information so you can follow up with them. Let them know when their order's about to come in. Reach back out to them and ask them how they are enjoying their new Scentsy if they've never been a consultant before. And make sure at that party you're explaining everything to them and how Scentsy works and why Scentsy's different and why it's the best. And then from there, those people are going to be your customers. So you can reach out to them. You can subscribe them to the newsletter, add them on Facebook, become personal with them and build a relationship so that they begin to know you, so that they can have parties for you and their friends can become your customers. So that's number one. Number two, it is very important to allow people to try Scentsy. If people have never tried Scentsy before, 9 out of 10, they're not just going to hit you up and be like, hey, Amber, I really want to order a Scentsy system and you pick out the scents for me. No, that's not going to happen. Some people it will, but normally that does not happen. Now, once they've been a customer from you for a while, I have a lot of customers that are like, hey, I need a 6-pack. I'm almost out of my bars. Just choose the scents for me. Okay. That's what a regular customer will do. But normally when people have not used Scentsy before, they've heard about it, they've been watching you, but they want to try it. So one thing that I have implemented, and I really started focusing on it again, I did it about a year ago, and I kind of forgot about it. But when I find out people who have never used Scentsy before, so for example, these are 2 examples that I've done in the past couple weeks. The people at the office where I live didn't have Scentsy up there. They have a different scent system. So what goes off in my head? I have so many warmers that are just sitting around that I'm not using, and they're collecting dust, and they're not making me money. They're not out of my house. So why are they just sitting there? So I brought up a bar of Luna, and I brought up, I think it was the Ocean Mosaic warmer. For them to use up there, I brought up cotton balls with that and a catalog. I told them how to put the wax in, that you don't just need 1 cube, because that's what they were starting to do. That for that size warmer, you can do 3 or 4. When it stops smelling up a little bit, then drop the cotton balls in there to change it. And then I followed up again with that. Saying, how do you guys like it? I go up there and, pay rent. We have coffee up there. I go up there. I have conversations a lot. And now they are placing, I brought some testers up yesterday. They're placing an order for a 6-pack because they already have the warmer. So I'm hoping now that they are getting into the groove of things, that they're going to become hooked and need it for their homes and everything. So that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, I was at our pool. I live in it's not a retirement community, but there's a lot of older people. We were out there July 4th. Hold on one second. And just hanging out, drinking some Trulies, started talking to the people beside us. It was a lady who actually happens to know my boyfriend's really good family friend. She works with her at the hospital. Started talking about a little bit, talking about what I do. Teaching is what I do. And then I also do Scentsy. And she was like, I've never used that before. We talked about it a little bit. And I said, hey, I have plenty of warmers at my house that I can let you borrow one, give you some scents to let you smell those and see how you like it. Okay? Be Scentsy, be the brand. Don't be scared of talking to people about it, because sometimes they've never even heard of Scentsy, and the only reason they don't use it is because they don't know about it. So I want to show you guys really quick what I personally brought to her. I ended up letting her keep up this warmer because it was a warmer from literally 3 summers ago that I had never taken back out of the box. So I gave that to her, and she now, from what I'm about to show you guys, she has placed 3 orders, and I just dropped off a basket party to her this morning. So this is why it's extremely important for you guys to always expand your customer base, because you never know what's going to happen. Because she's going to have a lot of plugins at the hospital that I don't have, because I'm not a nurse or a doctor. Okay, so this is the basket, the actual basket I gave her. This is a basket, and it does not matter what you put this in. I just had it laying around in my office. This is a basket I've had since I joined. I think it was maybe from the dollar store, something very simple. So I'm going to kind of take out everything and show you guys what all I put into something when somebody has never used Scentsy, and that I want them to try it out and see how they like it. So I put in a warmer. This is a personal warmer. We just don't use it right now. We got a new warmer in the place of this one, and it's just sitting in my office, okay? Not making me any money, and it's collecting dust, literally. So I give them a warmer. I explain to them how the switch works, that you can leave it on 24/7. It's completely safe. It doesn't get to too hot for you to be able to touch it, and it's just safe, okay? Then I, of course, give them, if I don't give them a whole bar, then I give them a couple of different scents, because I ask them and create that relationship, and I say, what kind of scents do you like? And then I go through what I have, and see if I can, you know, make some samples of that, give a couple bar or a couple cubes from a bar, whatever it may be. And then from there, I don't know what's going on with this Harbor's Edge warmer or wax, but from then I tell them about the wax. I tell them that this wax is completely safe. It's paraffin wax with oils added to it. It is not hot to the touch. It's just like when you get a manicure and you put your hands in the wax. Exact same thing. If your child knocks into it, if your grandson knocks into it, if your pet walks into it, it's going to be completely fine. It's not going to burn them. I let them know this. Why? Because some people think that they can go to Walmart or any other competitive, you know, place that has warmers and they can get the same product, and that's not the case. We know that because this bulb in this warmer is going to only heat this wax to a certain temperature, and then it's going to stop. Not stop melting the wax, but it's not going to get too hot to the point where it's not safe to have on anymore. I explain that all to them. A lot of people don't know what the difference is between Scentsy and other things. So like I said, and I have my label on it. That's me. It's very important to have your label on everything, just so they know your contact info at any time. They can see my face. They see my name. Oh, Lord. Siri's talking to me on my watch. But they can easily see your name, your contact info, your website, and my phone number. It's always on there. Okay, so I have that. I put in a scent circle. And when I'm giving this to somebody, I typically write them a little note right here. I make it very personal. Hey, Sarah, thank you so much for trying out Scentsy. I can't wait to chat with you about it some more. Put this in your car and enjoy. Okay, very simple. Face is on it again. I put a room spray in there just so they can see that we have other products for them to sample, and then I'll put like a little note with that saying spray this around and see how quickly it masks scents. Very good for the kitchen and bathrooms, or to slip in your purse. I put in a baggie of cotton balls, and I usually tell them about the cotton ball method, how it's the easiest thing to do. Sometimes I make a label to put on there to explain it to them. But people love this because a lot of people don't know that you can just drop some cotton balls in it, soaks right up, and then change the scent. A lot of people will get frustrated and say it's too hard to take the wax out. They want to put it in the freezer. They want to take a knife to it. Just no, don't do that. Let them know immediately how easy it is to use Scentsy. Of course, I put a catalog in there. And then Scentsy does this wonderful thing that when you open up the end, it's the bundle and save. I put in a thing about the Scentsy Go to let them know more about what we have to offer. And then I put in there some join information. Don't ever underestimate who could possibly want to join your team. But that's basically what I do for that piece. I also, you know, you have to follow up a lot with that as you do anything, but make sure that you're reaching out to them, you're seeing how they like it, if they've started using it yet, when they need to give it back to you, if you're letting them borrow it. And that's how that goes. Let me see what else I do. Those are the main two things that I do. I talk about Scentsy everywhere. I don't ever let people, like in conversation, let people like get away from me without knowing that I do Scentsy, and that I love it, and that I'm a teacher, and that I could not do my life the way I want to do it without the extra income from Scentsy. How I travel. Just like don't ever underestimate who could join your team. Don't ever underestimate who could want to purchase from you. And don't assume people know about Scentsy. Just because, you know, Sarah's 5 miles away and Tina's a mile away does not mean that somebody that I come into contact with knows about Scentsy. Another thing I've done, I have sent customers and friends of mine with testers to work. You could put it in a little thing like this. This just has a few of our testers, some of the main ones, with a catalog to get people hooked. A lady that I'm about to meet up with for lunch and drinks to give her Scentsy order. I got her hooked on laundry now. She became my customer just because I sent my neighbor with testers to work. So don't ever underestimate. Put yourself out there, and you need to make sure that you're continuing to expand your customer base, because 9 times out of 10, those customers are going to want to join your team, and you need to constantly keep your customer base going. Spoil your customers. Make sure they are your customers. They're going to come back to you because you care about them and you treat them like gold. So that is that. Again, welcome to my YouTube channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.